Morning folks, welcome to the heart of cycling. We've got a blustery ride out in the south side of Glasgow this morning. I'm going to meet up with the boys from the club for a wee spin, make the most of some dry weather. Relatively warm, not the heat wave that these folks are getting down in England and in Europe, but that's fine. Take these conditions any day up here. But I was just reflecting that it's pretty much a year now since I got back on the bike for the first time after my cardiac arrest, and that was obviously a huge milestone. And I feel like this is also a real milestone, that it's a year on since I first got on the bike and started turning the pedals and feeling like I could do it again, which was incredible. And I feel like I've come a very long way, and I feel like I'm a very lucky boy to be going out and doing something that just feels totally normal at this point. But I thought I would just reflect on some of the things I've learnt over the course of the past year. I had a wee think about it, and there's a few things that came to mind. The first one I think would be PTSD is real. I read quite a bit afterwards about post-traumatic stress disorder, and to be honest, I don't think I felt it that much, but I felt it from people around me, maybe more so, and that's where it really hits hard, especially my wife, who had to deal with the whole situation, and I still can't really get my head around what that must have been like for her. And she's been amazing, but certainly she's been very protective about me, especially on the bike. Took a while before she was in any way comfortable with me going out by myself, but she's been amazing and supportive. And whatever PTSD she herself has dealt with, she's dealt with it incredibly well. But I've also got that kind of chat from friends and family who in their own way let you know what a traumatic event it was for them. But, the important thing is, morning, hiya. The important thing is that we're here a year on, doing well, and dealing with that trauma all the time. But it always kind of diminishes, it always gets a wee bit less, and sometimes I don't think about it at all, and everything feels perfectly normal for a wee while at least. So the second thing I've been reflecting on is really my sense of gratitude to so many people. First and foremost, of course, my incredible wife, for everything that she's done for me. Not just saving my life, but helping me back on my feet, literally. She's quite a bit smaller than me, so even her physical strength is something to be admired, but her mental strength is certainly to be admired. She's been amazing. But my gratitude also to those friends and family who have supported me, to the guys in the cycling club who have been great in terms of encouraging me, getting back out on the road with me a year ago when I really needed someone to ride with me and make sure I was okay. The cardiac rehab team, who more than anyone else gave me the confidence to get back on the bike and give me the knowledge about how to push myself within limits, what I could expect to be able to do. They made a huge amount of difference to me. The NHS were amazing So my gratitude to them and all the medical staff, of course. I just got to know the rehab team a bit better than the doctors because I don't really remember that much about my dealings with the doctors. So, a sense of gratitude to all these people, and a sense of gratitude, really, that I'm out here right now, puffing up the hill into a headwind on my bike on a sunny morning. Feels absolutely incredible. So, a sense of gratitude for that. I've said it before, I'm a lucky boy, and I don't take any of this for granted. Right, that's us at the mallet, the famous mallet shoot. Just waiting for the boys to turn up. But yeah, I was thinking about, like, a year on, what I really realise is kind of things are never going to be the same again, you know. Like I said, some days I don't think about the cardiac arrest or what happened. It's just not front and centre. But it's always there, you know, it's always in the back of your head, and things will never be the same again. And it just kind of shifts your perspective about lots of things. And I've certainly found, you know, the number of conversations I've had over the past year with other people who might not have had a cardiac arrest or a heart attack or anything, but they've had some kind of health issue, some kind of health scare, something that's kind of, you know, given them a bit of a fright. And they've all said the same thing, that it changes your perspective and it alters your priorities. And, you know, maybe that's not a bad thing at a certain point in your life to really work out what's important and what isn't. And that's certainly been the case for me. So things will never be the same again, but hopefully there's a real advantage to feeling that way, that you've got things in their proper perspective, and yeah, you can take things in your stride a wee bit more. This is what it's all about, look at this. Absolutely brilliant. Therapy for the soul. Fair play to Paolo today. He's out on a bike that dates back to 1957. Check this out. Old school. Downshifters. Steel frame. Don't make them with that anymore. Fantastic. Still going strong as well. Right, that's us back at the mall. Faster ride than I was expecting. Ended up doing a wee bit of a chain gang, but we were on a nice road for it, so why not? I'll just take a seat. And yeah, my next point really that I was thinking about a year on from getting back on the bike is that cycling to me is like a superpower, or it's just something that has made so much difference to my physical and mental recovery. Getting back on the bike a year ago and going for that gentle cycle that I did with my pal Liam was a huge step forward, and it felt so good that, you know, there was no question about whether I was going to do it again. I just had a huge desire to be out there doing it, and it's just gone from strength to strength. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's being out in the fresh air, or feeling the benefit of covering some miles, soaking up the scenery, the endorphins that are pumping through your body. I don't know what's going on chemically or scientifically, but there's no question you just feel better for it. And then you start to feel better and you want to do more of it. So it's been integral to my recovery, it really has. And I suppose, there's all kinds of different things you could be doing which help to motivate your recovery. But for me, it's been cycling, and just really happy to be out doing it, and feeling like it's something that I can still do, can still enjoy, and I can do it, as well as, if not better than I was doing it before, because I'm just feeling fit and strong. So yeah, cycling is my superpower. Bring it on. So the fifth thing I've been thinking about is how little I miss the bevy. I've been off alcohol since my cardiac event last year, and I've just had no desire to go back to it. Initially it was because, obviously I was in the hospital and everything, and then I come back and I'm full of medication. Well, I'm still full of medication, but it just wasn't on my radar at all. And I never had a doctor tell me you can't drink again or you should knock it on the head. I can't really explain it, but there was something in my head or in my body that just said, you know what, you don't need this. Your recovery's going well, so why jeopardize anything by having a drink? So I've not had any kind of temptation at all. I've just been off it, and I've felt good about that. I'm not going to get evangelical about telling people to stop drinking. I had many, many years of good drinking. But at this point, a year on, I feel the benefit so much of not having alcohol in my system. And it's made me think that my life is better off without it. So that's a big point. Off the bevy, and I think off the bevy for good. And my final thought would be about my approach to life a year on from getting back on the bike. It's really about just doing things that you want to do. Just fucking do it. And that means, for me, taking a break from work later this year. I'm planning a cycle adventure in Chile, South America, a route called the Carretera Austral, which goes down into the heart of Patagonia. And it's a route I've had in my head for a while, and I thought, when I'm 60, maybe I'll do that as a bucket list kind of ride. And then after what happened to me last year, I thought, God, why am I going to wait till 60 to do anything? I'm going to be 58 later this year, and I'm feeling great. So let's just do it. So that's the plan for the end of the year. A month on the bike in Patagonia, the Carretera Austral. And that's kind of what I'm building up towards. So that's just where I'm at the moment. If there's stuff you want to do, don't wait for a day in the future. Nail it down. Put it in the diary. Make your plans and get out there and just fucking do it. It's the best advice I can give you. So that's us, we're almost home. I just want to say, if you made it this far in the video, hang on, let me just stop. If you've made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. I'm at almost 100 subscribers for the channel, which is great. I had no idea if anyone's going to tune into this at all, but the support I've had has been really good. So if you are watching this and you haven't subscribed, it would be great if you just hit that button. It makes a big difference to the algorithm and all that. And great to get your support. But thanks for tuning in. And yeah, hope you join me. We've got much more planned over the summer, and it's all building up towards this big trip to Patagonia in Chile at the end of the year. So here we are, a year on. Lucky boy, happy boy. So thanks for tuning in to Heart Cycling. See you soon.